Hi boys and girls, this is Mrs. Hutzler, and today we're going to get started talking about our topic of characters and character traits. Now I know back in second grade, you all learned about what characters are. Those are the people, or sometimes animals, that are in a story that we're reading. And those are the people that do all of the actions, and we know what happens in the story through what they do. Now, did you know we can learn a lot about those characters by what they say, what they do, and even sometimes the narrator, the author, tells us what they think. And those things are called character traits. And character traits are very important when you're reading because they help you understand the character. Now, just like you or I may sometimes have good days, bad days, things change in our lives and we feel differently, characters can also change throughout a book. And a lot of times there are events or actions that happen that cause or motivate them to change. And we're going to learn a lot about character traits in a novel that we're going to read called Jake Drake Know-It-All. But before we get started with that, I want to talk to you about this character traits sheet that you're going to be seeing throughout several of our Jake Drake videos. And this character traits sheet has several different character traits that describe a person's or a character's personality on the inside. Character traits can be on the outside, like short, tall, pretty, but we're focusing a lot on the internal or the personal character traits. And those, a lot of them are listed on this chart. Now, this is not all of the possible character traits, but there are a lot on this list. And they're divided into categories. So we've got nice character traits, how characters can act in a nice way or show that they are nice and positive. We have mean character traits. We have sad character traits, how different characters can be feeling when they're a little bit sad. We have positive and negative character traits. Sometimes you have characters that do a lot. They're very active. And then we have some that do very little. And there are different character traits that fit those different types of characters. We also have confident character traits that show that a character is confident, or also sometimes characters can be a little nervous. Then we have a list down here of character traits that are opposite, like a calm character. I'm sure we all know very calm people in our lives. And then we have some that are hyperactive, that kind of are a little bit energetic and can get off the wall, act off the wall a little bit. So this is going to be very important for you as you read through Jake Drake because we're challenging you to find character traits from Jake Drake that maybe fit Jake. How is he acting or feeling or showing us he is like in our chapters? It might be some good things, it might be some not so good things. We'll have to see. And not only that, but think about what's making him act that way. What is causing him to have these character traits? So we've got some really big challenges for you as you're reading this book, but I know you're up for the challenge. So as you start Jake Drake, your first job is to read chapter 1. Now, Jake Drake Know-It-All. That makes me think, no, what does that have to do with anything? What is he trying to know? What's going to happen? So our first chapter is called The Catch. Well, what are we catching? Are we catching a cold? Are we catching a baseball? Are we catching, I don't know, what's going on? So my challenge to you is in chapter 1 to first get an idea of who are our characters. And we're going to meet several in this chapter. And then think about, as you finish the chapter, what are their character traits? Think about this list. How would you describe them in this first chapter? Things may change, or they may stay the same. But as you're reading, think about the character traits for these characters and how you would describe them based on what we know in chapter 1. So again, Jake Drake Know-It-All. Chapter 1 is called The Catch. And enjoy and have happy reading.